Who are you? This question is a matter of the highest importance. When Jesus came to earth, he claimed that the entire destiny of every man, woman, and child would depend upon how they viewed him. If his claims are true, the decisions we make about Jesus will determine whether we spend eternity with him or without him. Nothing could be more important. Peter Joseph produced a film entitled Zeitgeist. The film is broken into several parts. The first part, and the only part we will be focusing on, deals with the Christian religion. The film specifically argues that Christianity is mainly derived from other religions, astronomical assertions, astrological myths, and tradition, which in turn were derived or shared elements from other traditions. It continues by arguing that the historical Jesus is a literary and astrological hybrid nurtured politically. The work of D.M. Murdoch, author of The Christ Conspiracy, the greatest story ever sold, is used extensively in part 1 of the movie to argue that the concept of Jesus Christ is a myth and states that the Christ story is a fabrication. She also acted as a consultant for part 1 of the movie. So now it is time to take a second look at the Zeitgeist movie. This is a response to a reply from the 4th video in the series. This individual says, Virgo is the constellation which is associated with the harvest. That is why Virgo is the house of bread. Virgo is the astrological house that the sun is in when you harvest the wheat crop. Thus, Virgo is the astrological house of bread. I not only understand the allegory that Zeitgeist is promoting, but also understand this: whoever made this video does not even want to try to understand those allegories. This is not truth-seeking. Yes, I understand the allegory in these films. Anyone who watches the film, whether they are a Christian or non-Christian, will understand the allegories and the case it is making. The Virgo House of Bread comments can be seen everywhere in the internet. It's like saying Christopher Columbus was a cheapskate for crossing the Atlantic Ocean on a ship instead of taking a 747. I cannot prove that 747s do not exist. I live in a city with an airport. I see them every day. Every city in the world with an international airport has seen a 747. Even cities around these cities or in flight paths of 747 has seen a 747s. 747s can be seen everywhere on the internet. The problem in both cases is a historical problem. There were no 747s during Columbus's time.
Is it true that astrology played a large part in the formation of Christianity, as Ms. Murdoch asserts? Noel Swerdlow is professor of astronomy and astrophysics at the University of Chicago. He has specialized in the study of the practice of astronomy in antiquity through the 17th century. Here is what he had to say on Ms. Murdoch's view. In antiquity, constellations were just groups of stars, and there were no borders separating the region of one from the region of another. In astrology, for computational purposes, the zodiacal signs were taken as 12 arcs of 30 degrees measured from the vernal equinox. Because of the slow westward motion of the equinoxes and solstices, what we call the precession of the equinoxes, these did not correspond to the constellations with the same names. But within which group of stars the vernal equinox was located was of no astrological significance at all. The modern ideas about the age of Pisces or the age of Aquarius are based upon the location of the vernal equinox in the regions of the stars of those constellations. But the regions, The borders between those constellations are a completely modern convention of the International Astronomical Union for the purpose of mapping, and never had any astrological significance. I hope this is helpful, although in truth, what this woman is claiming is so wacky that it is hardly worth answering. So when this woman says that the Christian fish was a symbol of the coming age of Pisces, she is saying something that no one would have thought of in antiquity, because in which constellation of the fixed stars the vernal equinox was located, was of no significance and is entirely an idea of modern, I believe 20th century, astrology. In other words, the ancient Christ conspirators could not have recognized the 12 celestial sections in order to incorporate them into a Christian myth, and announce the ushering in the age of Pisces as Murdoch. Or the film claims, because the division into the celestial sections did not occur until a meeting of the International Astronomical Union in the 20th century. Therefore, her claim is without any merit. J. Pazashev is the director of Hopkins Observatory, chair of the Department of Astronomy at Williams College, and Carta expert on astronomy, and a member of the International Astronomical Union. Wrote. The exact divisions into 88 constellations covering 100% of the sky was adopted by the International Astronomical Union in 1928 and codified in 1930. But the constellation shapes are irregular, and the 12 zodiacal constellations are not exactly 30 degrees each. The Sun actually travels through parts of 13 constellations each year. For more information pertinent to this topic, I suggest J. Pazashev's Field Guide to the Stars and Planets.
I really